Welcome back to Sports Roundtable, State News' sports podcast. And today, Maddie's already laughing because we got bracket time. We are picking the March Madness bracket.
I see PJ out of the corner of my eye just going.
I told you I was going to do it for the intro, but basically today, we are doing a very, very fun episode, switching up from the norm here on Roundtable. And we, collectively, me, PJ, and Maddie, are going to be picking our March Madness bracket. This is the official... everything that's going to exactly happen the way it's going to go. We're telling you right here, right now.
This is going to be the only perfect bracket
to exist.
If this actually becomes the only perfect bracket, I don't know what we'd do. We'd probably wouldn't have to go to school or probably work a very long time in our lives ever again.
Yeah, because we'd get automatic contracts to work for ESPN.
Yeah, we would probably we get all the endorsements.
And then get $30,000 a year.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
They create a new position for us, and it's called bracket specialists, and we only pick off of vibes.
Bracket time specialists.
Bracket time specialists.
Yeah.
But yes, in all seriousness, this is going to be a very fun episode. Just to give a little bit of a brief explanation of how this is going to work, it's really not that complicated. We have three people, so obviously there's going to be three picks. We're all going to give you our analysis on each matchup. Not analysis, but just quick pick. And then whichever one, or unless you guys want to get into it, but
nope.
This would be a 3-hour episode.
Guys, I don't have much analysis except for Michigan State.
That's why you have to pick off vibes.
Exactly.
We could talk to you about Michigan State, but other ones,
right?
We're going to have to go through it quickly. But anyway, basically, majority's going to rule. So whichever team gets 2 or 3 picks for all of the matchups is going to move on, and we will collectively do the bracket until we get all the way to the championship game and pick a winner. Whether all 3 of us agree or just 2 of us agree. So should be a very fun episode, but I guess without further ado, we are going to start it off with the first matchup coming out of the South region. Auburn and Alabama State. I want Alabama State. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I think we should do Auburn. I think that's the better choice.
I think that we should too. Auburn's been a wagon this year, so I think that is like the only logical choice. I read something the other day. I think that there's only been like 2 upsets ever in March Madness history where a number 16 seed has beat a number 1 seed.
UMBC, and it was Fairleigh Dickinson over Purdue a few years ago. So very rare. But, Auburn is the number 1 overall seed in the bracket, so if they lost, we'd be pretty concerned.
Yeah.
I think safe to say.
Just slightly.
Then the 8-9 matchup right below them is going to be Louisville and Creighton.
Yeah.
This is a fun one. I don't know too much about these teams, but Louisville is one of the hottest teams in the country. Ran through the ACC, and they are back. Louisville Hoops being competitive is also a great site, but I'm going to take Creighton in this matchup. I like them a little bit better. What do you guys going to pick?
So this is kind of like a sidebar almost. The spread is Creighton is plus 2.5 and Louisville's minus 2.5. What does that mean? like genuinely, like, so the
You said Louisville's plus 2.5?
Creighton is plus 2.5.
Okay,
so they're gonna win by 2.5. Like that's the spread, like 2.5 points, or they would lose.
Creighton is technically not favored in that game if they're plus money.
Okay.
So Louisville being minus 2.5 means that if you were to bet Louisville minus 2.5, Louisville would have to win by 3 points or more because that was more than 2.5.
Oh yeah.
If you had Creighton spread 2.5, Creighton would have to lose or win the game by less than 2 points.
Right. Okay. I don't know if negative was better or not. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's all good. I did not realize we'd be giving a sports betting analysis right there, but yes, that would be it.
This is just what ESPN Sportsbet is telling us. But I mean, their 2 guys look like they're matched up fairly well. Like the 4 guys that they're giving us, their top players.
Terrence Edwards and Chucky Hepburn for Louisville, and then Ryan Kalkbrenner and Stephen Ashworth for Creighton. Pretty matched up pretty well. Ryan Kalkbrenner seems to be doing. He's really good with the points.
I was gonna say he seems like he's got a little oomph on the other 3, but I mean when you match up an 8 and a 9 seed, you're fit for a good game, no matter what.
This is also the first game of March Madness as
Exactly.
well, at 12:40 tomorrow, so always going to be a good one.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go with you and say Creighton.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of people, because my whole entire TikTok right now is March Madness. I've seen a lot of people also pick Creighton, so I'm going to go Creighton as well.
Okay. Creighton,
either way, if
sweet.
I picked Louisville, I'm outvoted. So I feel like I should pick Creighton.
Yeah.
No, that's a fair point. I mean, this one definitely will be a really good game, as we're saying. Like 8 and 9 seeds never fail, so they're also probably one of the hardest matchups to pick. Next matchup is a very, very fun one.
Yes.
Michigan versus UC San Diego. This is UC San Diego's first year eligible to make the March Madness tournament, and they did that. They ran through their conference, and they have 30 wins on the season, 30-4. They are a wagon, as Madi would say, but Michigan won the Big Ten tournament, so they're coming in hot as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. As a Michigan State fan, I would love to see UC San Diego upset. And obviously there's going to be upsets. It's March Madness. Anything can happen. But I know that something we've talked about is Michigan's got 2 of the best bigs in the country. So if they can play on their game, then Michigan is probably fit to make it to 32.
Yeah, I have a really good feeling that Michigan is going to beat UC San Diego, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one of the most popular upset picks in all of America. This one was drawing probably the most, like, 12-5 favorability in terms of UC San Diego. I mean, they play to Michigan's weaknesses. Michigan turns the ball over a lot. UC San Diego forces a lot of turnovers. But the thing is, UC San Diego is also very undersized compared to Vladimir Golden and Danny Wolf down there for Michigan. So this reminds me a little bit of the Gonzaga-McNeese 12-5 matchup last year, where McNeese was the most popular upset pick and then got washed by about 30 points. But for the sake of March, I am going to take UC San Diego, but I will let you guys take whatever you would like there.
I'm also going to take UC San Diego just because I have seen a lot about, like, this is one of the best 12 seeds in the, like, this is the best 12 seed in the tournament. One of the best that March Madness has had in a while. I don't know. I love me an upset. Picking solely off of vibes. I'm going UC San Diego, too.
Okay. I would go Michigan, but I'm outvoted, so it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's close for a reason. It's totally fine to be outnumbered on that one, but should be a really good game. I have no idea who's going to win. I flipped that one in my bracket, at my personal one, about 4 or 5 times already. So
I think that I had UC San Diego upsetting Michigan on both of my brackets.
That's the right play. I'm telling you. Speak it into existence. The next matchup we have is a very fun one as well. Texas A&M and Yale. Yale knocked off Auburn last year as the same seed, a 13 seed. They are also a very, very good team coming out of the Ivy League. Texas A&M played in a very hard SEC, a little bit struggling as of late, but this one should be fun.
Yeah, Yale, they won their conference, right?
Yes, they won the Ivy League.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, did you say that?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The thing with Yale, though, is looking at this, they've only played one top 25 ranked opponent. So coming into this, I mean, you don't have the experience like Texas A&M does of playing 12 games against a top 10 or top 25 opponent. Sorry, I had to do math and add 7 and 5 together. But yeah, I have heard that this is going to be a really interesting game, but I see Texas A&M coming out of this one solely for the fact that they have more experience playing top 25 opponents.
I like that analysis.
Yeah, I agree.
So you guys are going to both ride with Texas A&M?
I'm going to go Texas A&M.
Yeah.
I was going to pick Yale because they were a team that had a lot of vibes to me. And also Texas A&M does not have a lot of vibes to me. I've watched them, like I haven't watched them play or anything, but they've had a lot of losses, but they've also played a lot of good teams, so totally reasonable there for you guys' pick.
A 12-13 matchup would be crazy. UC San Diego versus
Yes, I know.
Yale.
We've seen crazier things too, which is really nuts, but I also picked Yale in my personal one, so I'm really kind of pulling for that. Next matchup we got is a team that had a lot of controversy getting into the tournament, North Carolina as the 11th seed. They won last night in their first 4 matchup against San Diego State, so prove they can be here. They're taking on another SEC squad, Ole Miss. I mean, we say all these are going to be interesting. I mean, this is going to be a great game as well.
Yeah, totally.
I have a question for you guys. Sorry. I feel like that came out very aggressive. I have a question. What are your thoughts on UNC getting into the tournament over Indiana?
I would say it's
Or
reasonable.
Indiana just not making the tournament, period.
I'd say from looking at it in a perspective, Indiana probably should have gotten in over North Carolina. because North Carolina's quad 1 record is obviously the one downfall, pretty much negating their entire reason to be in the tournament. They have 1 win this year against quad 1 teams, double-digit losses against them. So obviously they weren't playing that great against the teams that really matter, and like the teams they're going to face in this tournament. Perfect in quad 2 wins, but that really doesn't matter for their competition. Indiana, I think, was just a little bit too inconsistent. I know they played in the Big Ten, so they had a lot of good opponents, but they really never hit their stride, never paired together too many wins in a row or whatever. So I think Indiana was one of those teams where I didn't think should get in the first place. West Virginia, on their hand, I think should have.
Oh, yeah. So...
What are we feeling? what are we feeling, I guess, for this one?
I think Ole Miss is going to take this.
I think Ole Miss, too.
Okay, I was going to go North Carolina. I promise you I'm not just picking all the upsets, but...
Why?
Normally a first 4 team in March Madness gets past a 6 seed and goes on a little bit of a run. I mean, the most recent example I can think of, because I was just watching March Madness highlights before this, was UCLA in 2021, where they went to the Final Four after getting out of the first 4. But I think North Carolina's proven they can be here. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder. But I'm totally cool with you guys going Ole Miss.
No, let's do UNC.
Okay, PJ's first change of the pick here.
Yeah.
Okay. I convinced PJ enough to change the pick.
Let's do it.
That's what we can do. We can make up our own rules on this show.
Of course.
Next one.
First ever bracket.
Yes, first one. First annual at that point, too. Next one we got is Iowa State and Lipscomb, 3 versus 14 seed. Not really much here to dive too deep in. I feel like I would go Iowa State, although I feel like they could be vulnerable in later rounds.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, I think this first round it's going to be Iowa State.
Clean sweep on Iowa State there. Sorry, Lipscomb.
Clean sweep. Okay.
Our 7 to 10 matchup in this region would be Marquette and New Mexico. Another also really fun matchup. Marquette has Cam Jones, one of the best players in the country, and also in their conference there in the Big East. I like Marquette here. New Mexico also has a very solid squad out of the Mountain West, but I'm going to take Marquette in this one.
Yeah, I agree. I think Marquette has a little bit of an edge.
I'm picking Marquette solely off of vibes.
That's what helps you out in March Madness.
Absolutely.
And then last one of the region, our favorite matchup, obviously, number 2 seeded Michigan State versus number 15 seeded Bryant. I think the picks are going to be very obvious here, but I will say Bryant is a very solid squad. Been seeing a lot of buzz about them online, which is kind of scaring me a little bit. But Michigan State normally handles 2 seeds pretty well, apart from the Middle Tennessee disaster. But I think it would be I'd be a fool not to pick Michigan State.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Mr. Beat Reporter, talk us through this a little bit. I mean, what does looking at this, what does Michigan State have to take them to the next level that Bryant doesn't?
Yeah, I mean, I think MSU's going to capitalize on transition offense, which, I mean, Izzo was talking about this the other day. Like, Bryant also does that. They also have a few not a few. They have, like, a lot of big men. They have, like, a ton of 6'6" guards, 6'8". Like, I think no, I was going to say their shortest one is 6'6", but I think that's wrong. I think they have maybe 1 or 2, a little bit shorter. But, they have a big lineup. And I think MSU's defenders, like, I think Carson Cooper, he's shown himself this year that he's a great defender. But I think they utilize their big men a lot. So I think that's going to be I think that might be the biggest, like, not difference, but the biggest thing to look out for.
Like the difference maker, though.
Yeah.
Great analysis, PJ.
But thanks. But I think MSU has a pretty big edge.
Okay.
Yeah,
I do too. I just wanted to.
Of course.
I just had to know, obviously.
Yeah. That game could get frisky a little bit. We'll have to see. You mentioned Bryant's length is going to be something they'll play to their strengths. But moving on to the West region, we're going to have number 1 seeded Florida against number 16 in Norfolk State. Florida's looking like one of the best teams in the country. They even had a case for getting the number 1 overall seed.
Yeah.
If Auburn didn't have all those quad 1 wins, but Florida's looking like one of the best teams in the nation right now. Again, we'd be a fool not to take the number 1 seed here.
Exactly. Yeah.
I agree. Florida.
And then the 8 and 9 matchup is, really, really cool as well. Number 8 seeded UConn, back-to-back defending champion UConn as an 8 seed against number 9 Oklahoma and Jeremiah Fears. Very frisky. I like UConn here just because of their experience. Oklahoma was on the bubble for a long amount of time and then started putting together some wins as of late and really got themselves into the tournament. I just think Dan Hurley and UConn's experience is really going to be the difference maker here.
Yeah.
They've proven to win recently. I think they'll do it again.
Yeah, same.
That's what I was going to say, too, is if they're defending national champions. I mean, you can't count them out in a situation like that. So, yeah, I go UConn too.
Yeah, they have potential to make a run, too. They brought back a lot of pieces from last year and have a good amount of freshmen as well. Just had a slow start to the season, but we'll see how that translates in March. Another 5-12 matchup. We got Memphis and Colorado State. Michigan State played Memphis this year, so I remember that game very well.
Yeah.
Memphis's backcourt is very, very strong. PJ Haggerty leads the way, averaging 20 a game there. But Colorado State just won their conference, the Mountain West. They've been one of the hottest teams in the country in the last 10 games. 12 seed coming in. They always are a team that makes the March Madness bracket. But what are your guys' thoughts on this one?
Go ahead.
We're just clicking the preview. Yeah, I mean, from what I remember from MSU's game against Memphis was like Memphis is just killer. They're just so good. Yeah, PJ Haggerty, he was balling. I don't know. I'm saying this. Yeah. I think it's gonna be Memphis. Yeah, I mean, let's look at versus top 25. I mean, they've only played four top 25 matchups, but
they have some great wins though. Ole Miss,
Right.
Clemson, Michigan State, UConn as well. Fantastic wins. So.
I'm gonna say Memphis. What about you?
I'm going to say Memphis too, just because they beat us earlier this season.
Yeah.
That's all I got for you.
They're a solid squad, no
Vibes.
doubt about it. 4-13 matchup in this region. We got Maryland and Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon is a team that's pulled off the upset before. A lot of March experience, but Maryland is very dominant. Derek Queen and company lead the way there.
The Crab Five.
The Crab Five.
Yeah.
So I was just listen. I got nothing for you guys. I was just reading sports columnist Casper his column that he wrote earlier about his picks. He had Grand Canyon upsetting Maryland.
That's an unpopular one too.
Yeah, he did have that. Yeah.
So vibes, I go Grand Canyon.
Okay.
Okay.
DJ?
I'm gonna go Maryland.
Okay, so that puts me as the deciding factor. I like the Grand Canyon hype a little bit, but not enough to pick Maryland in this one.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. There's always like an upset that happens where you really don't expect it every year. So definitely could see it being this one because Maryland, they played a little bit kind of questionable down the stretch in the Big Ten. So, but I think they have the edge here.
Yeah.
Maryland.
The 6-11 matchup in this region is a very popular upset pick as well. We got number 6 seed in Missouri versus number 11 seed in Drake, not Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar didn't make the tournament this year. So.
Thank you, Jacob.
What are we thinking for this one? Drake is one of the most popular upset picks in the country as well.
Yeah. Do you want to go?
Go ahead.
I can help you out, PJ.
No. It's okay. I just wanted to see if she wanted to talk. Yeah, I mean, I think Drake has it. Looking at their top 2 players, Bennett Sturts, he's averaging over 19 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists, and then Daniel Abreu, 10.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 1 assist. It looks like they're. I mean, I don't really know too much about them, but I mean, it seems like they're carrying Drake. So I don't know. Just looking at the matchup between like Mark Mitchell and Caleb Grill, I think it's going to be a very close game, but I could see Drake pulling out.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot too.
Pulling out the win.
Didn't Drake upset somebody last year, or am I?
I don't
thinking
believe
about a
so. I think they were
different
like in
team?
the same scenario where it was a popular
they?
pick and they didn't do it.
Okay.
But I'd have to double check.
I was gonna say because I think if they didn't upset, they were close.
Yeah.
Because I remember that like being a
Yep.
option. But vibes, I go Drake.
Okay, I like that too. I was also going to go Drake. They've been here before. I think they're better than last year when they fell a little bit short. They have 30 wins this year, and only one of them being against a tournament team right now in Vanderbilt. But I mean, this is one of the most fun teams in the country. They can shoot. If you have not watched this team, turn on their game at 7:35 tomorrow on Thursday. They can shoot lights out. So I think they'll have the edge here. We'll pick Drake with a clean sweep. To face them in the next round, we got the winner of Texas Tech and UNC Wilmington. I am going to go Texas Tech here. Texas Tech is one of my most, I guess, like sleeper run picks. I know they're a 3 seed, but very dangerous. JP Toppin leads the way there. Great team. Very fun to watch. I'm going to go Texas Tech.
Yeah, I'm going to go Texas Tech too. Didn't they, okay, a couple years ago, weren't they the 11th seed?
I think so.
I don't know why, but they like went to like the Elite Eight or something. Maybe I don't.
I know they were like I know they were a 6 seed and they had a run a few years ago.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure about 11 seed, but they've had plenty of deep runs in March.
Yeah. So I mean I trust them. So I'm gonna go with Texas Tech.
I'm gonna do the same.
Please.
I had no other choice.
Nice to play it safe there against a 14 seed. And then these last two games in this region, battle the coaching trees. Oh my goodness. Number 7 Kansas and Bill Self against number 10 Arkansas and John Caliprini. Maddie and PJ are cracking up over there for reasons I cannot hear, but I'll let you giggle monsters over there do the talking for this one first.
You know what?
PJ loves his previews.
I really want Arkansas to win.
Okay.
I really don't want Kansas to win. I don't. Yeah. So just based off of that, I'm gonna pick Arkansas.
Okay.
I'm also gonna go Arkansas.
Yeah, I think we have the Hunter Dickinson fan or hate club over there. I almost said fan club.
No, I would
Completely
never.
It doesn't matter, but I was gonna go Kansas with this one. Kansas was the number 1 team coming in to the season, not just the tournament in the country. And then Arkansas has just been very consistent. Both these teams have been very inconsistent. I mean, huge letdown for Kansas, but I think they're going to get by Arkansas, who's a little bit weaker in my opinion. But Arkansas is going to move on for the sake of this bracket, according to you guys. And then we got St. John's and Omaha to close out this region. What a season for St. John's. One of the most surprising stories in all of college basketball this year. Rick Pitino does what Rick Pitino does and makes his teams win after going there for a few years. But I mean, St. John's, I'm going to take here in this one, not even close.
Yeah, they've just been incredible this season. So I'm really excited to see how they do in March Madness, how far they go.
If they live up to it, exactly.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do the same.
Here we go. Clean sweep.
Ooh.
All right. That's half the bracket done in the first round. Let's move on to the East. We got Duke, and oh my goodness, I'm going to have to look at who's going to be the winners of these games because I can't read it, but it doesn't even give me a preview.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's not even
preview
a preview because
option.
they don't play till tonight.
March Madness first game.
Probably American.
Who are you?
We're going to see if Google will tell me real quick.
I said it probably American University.
Oh my goodness.
That's who it is?
I cannot find anywhere it tells me this.
University?
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Okay, I did find it. Duke is going to be playing the winner of American University and Mount St. Mary's. But
Don't look at me like that. I don't need the sass.
we're getting the energy of this show. Okay.
Yeah, we are.
I am going to go Duke and save my talking points for Duke later in the rounds when they face a team that actually matters.
Exactly. Yep. Perfect.
Okay, pretty easy there. 8-9 game is Mississippi State and Baylor. Baylor had another disappointing season as well. Mississippi State played in the tough SEC. I am going to go Mississippi State just because I think they have a little bit more experience. Baylor has a good roster, just not as much chemistry, and it's not put together as well as I think Mississippi State is in, and they can shoot the ball. I'm going to go Mississippi State.
Yeah, I'm going to go Mississippi State too. Yeah.
I'm gonna do the same.
There we go. All right. We got another 12-5, the infamous 12-5 matchup, Oregon and Liberty University. This one, I don't really know if it's going to be as good as the other 12-5s. I think Oregon kind of has the pretty good advantage here.
Yeah.
For the sake of that, and I don't really see this one being close. I'm going to take Oregon.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Shellstad and Biddle are just so good together.
Oh, yeah.
Shellstad, especially last game that MSU played Oregon. Yeah, he's just always on fire.
I think he can be one of the March Madness stars this year, just because he can shoot the ball at an elite clip. I mean, the range he takes him from. Look out for him because I'm high on Oregon. And then Arizona and Akron for the 4-13. What do you guys think?
I mean, I'm gonna pick Arizona. They're led by
Sorry, drum roll, please.
They're led by Caleb Love. Oh,
Yeah.
Caleb Love.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's PJ's guy.
And Jaden Bradley.
They also had Trey Townsend from Oakland last year transfer in, who was the pairing of Jack Golke and Trey Townsend, which helped them beat Kentucky last year. He's there as well. But
Yeah, so I think, those three guys, I think they could do it.
I'm gonna go Arizona too. Vibes.
yeah, this one has some popular upset brewing potential, but I think Arizona is going to take care of this one. Their team's too talented for Akron, but Akron had a great season in the MAC. Kind of came out of a surprise a little bit, so We'll have them moving on there. Another really good upset pick, popular for America, BYU and VCU at the 6-11. What do you guys think? Are you going to ride the hype for America, or is it going to be a BYU pick here?
I don't know.
What is your intuition telling you?
I don't
Straight
know.
vibes.
My vibes are saying BYU because I think that's who I picked on my other brackets.
Okay, I was going to put VCU.
Okay. We got another decision here to make. I was also going to go VCU because I think they have experience in March, and they've been a team that's made plenty of deep runs before as not a higher seed. BYU, they really got hot as of late, but they didn't have a great start to the season, so I am going to go VCU. That one should be very fun. And then another Big Ten team, we got Wisconsin at the 3 seed versus 14 seeded Montana. Not really much else to say here. John Tange, Jonathan Blackwell, and company are the main reason why Wisconsin had a great season. I think they'll help them win a lot of games in March, not just this one. I'm going to take Wisconsin.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, Tange is just he's so good. Yeah, Blackwell, I mean, they're going to go far. Yeah.
I agree. I take Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. That is one of the hardest teams to pronounce. Wisconsin across the board. 7-seeded St. Mary's versus 10-seeded.
Did you just say Wisconsin is hard to pronounce?
I get it wrong a lot. Like sometimes my words throw together. And it's just tough.
Wow.
Wisconsin. Okay. I also say it with an accent, so it's like it's a tough word. Sorry.
It's okay. I forgive you. I was just I have a lot of questions.
I mess it up probably more than the average person.
It's okay.
7-seeded St. Mary's versus 10-seeded Vanderbilt. St. Mary's always finds a way into the tournament. Vanderbilt came out a surprise, had a great season in the SEC. I want to look at some of their wins because I know Vanderbilt has a lot. I accidentally just picked it by accident. Vanderbilt has beaten Tennessee, Kentucky, and Texas A&M. They've lost to some of the top dogs in Auburn, Florida, and Alabama, but they have great wins. The SEC was stacked this year.
Yeah. Vanderbilt's also where AJ Hogarth is.
Our man.
So maybe MSU Vanderbilt finals matchup. We can
oh my goodness, that would be the craziest universe of all time.
Yeah, not this universe.
Yeah,
no. Yeah, I mean Vanderbilt has had some really great wins this season, so I think they may have an edge on St. Mary's, but what do you think, Maddie?
I think so too. I mean, even just looking at this, Vanderbilt's played in 11 top 25 matchups, and even St. Mary's coming in as a number 7 seed has not played in any top 25s. So I'm taking the upset on this one. I'm going to go Vanderbilt.
Let's go. Vanderbilt love. I was also going to go Vanderbilt for that exact reason. St. Mary's plays in a weak conference. Their only really competitors Gonzaga. So, I mean, makes sense there. And then to close out the region, we'll go Alabama and Robert Morris. Don't take Robert Morris now. I'm going to go Alabama. Yes, Alabama.
I'm going to go Bama.
Sounds good. Last region of the first round, the Midwest region, Houston and SIUE. I wish I could tell you what that stands for.
Yeah, I'm going to go Houston.
I'm going to go Houston.
Houston across the boards. No 1-seed upsets this year, according to our picks. Gonzaga at an 8 seed and 9-seeded Georgia. This one's going to be fun, too.
This is going to be a fun game. Yeah. Real quick, Gonzaga's led by Graham Ike and Khalif Battle.
Oh my! I played Khalif Battle in high school.
Really?
My freshman year.
Did you really?
Yes. I was on the bench. I didn't play him myself. I was a freshman. I was warming up, but he went to Trenton Catholic. Because I'm from New Jersey. He went to Trenton Catholic. And we played him my freshman year in the playoffs, and we got
Did you guys get cooked?
dogged.
Okay.
Yeah, was not very seen. But he played at Butler. He's played elsewhere. He's played a lot of different colleges. So nice to see him playing at a good level. But
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I have no idea what I was saying.
Sorry, I know that was I cut you off.
I would rather hear about that than me ramble on. So, what do you think, Maddie?
Thanks, PJ, for that.
Of course.
I'm going to go Gonzaga vibes, and I like their little bulldog mascot.
I like that.
The little dog.
You know what? Yeah. Why not?
Gonzaga?
Gonzaga vibes.
PJ's going to go Gonzaga, too. I am also going to take Gonzaga and make it a clean sweep at the 8-9.
Okay.
Nice.
One of the craziest, I guess not stories of last year, but flops of last year, McNeese, who had a 12 seed last year, has a 12 seed again this year. They're taking on Clemson, who's a great squad. In one of the top teams in the ACC, even though it was a little bit weaker this year. Are you guys falling for it again? Because I fell for the hype last year with McNeese. I took them over Gonzaga last year, and they got killed. So
Yeah, I did not put them over Gonzaga last year.
Smart man.
But I think Clemson is going to take it.
I think so too. I think that I feel like I've heard a lot about Clemson and just the success that they've had this past season. So I'm gonna go Clemson.
I'm also going to go Clemson. I'm not buying the hype with McNeese and Amir Khan or whatever his name is, the manager that just signed an NLI deal for bringing the boombox out for the team. I predict them to go 0-2 in their tournament appearances as 12 seed. 4-seeded Purdue against 13-seeded High Point. This is also another very popular upset pick for America with High Point trying to take it. To give you guys a little bit of insight, we've watched a lot of Purdue being Big Ten attendees and fans. Braden Smith and company is a big reason why I think Purdue got to the point that they are, but they really cooled down at the end of the season. They did not look good in their last 10 games or whatever. High Point, on the other hand, is a team that looked great in their last 10 games, very hot, can shoot the ball, but their open defense, they don't put a ton of effort in on their defensive side, and that tends to lead a lot of opponents to wide open three-point looks. So this game could be fun, but for vibes, I'm going High Point.
You know what? I'll join you.
Yes.
I'll join you.
I was gonna go High Point.
Okay, a clean sweep on High Point.
Wow.
There we go.
Ooh.
We love upsets here. Number 6 seeded Illinois is against number 11 seeded Texas and Xavier. I mean, this game has to be played tonight at 9:10, but
Yeah, I'm gonna go Illinois. They're, KJ, he's just so good. He hasn't been playing super well these past few games, but I think he has a lot of experience like abroad and here. I think he's gonna lead the team.
Yep, most definitely. I'm gonna go Illinois as well.
I'm gonna do Illinois.
Same with Madi. Kentucky and Troy. Kentucky lost last year as a 3 seed to Oakland. That was a crazy scene.
Crazy.
Troy is not Oakland though. I don't think. I'm gonna take Kentucky on this one.
Yeah.
I was gonna take Troy just because of Oakland last year, and I feel like Kentucky is one of those teams that always gets upset for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking of last year after Jet Golke legacy game, but I guess we have to go Kentucky. But I was gonna go Troy. I was gonna go Troy.
I might pull up PJ and switch it because Kentucky's 22. They're 22-11 as a 3 seed. I know they played in the SEC, but this team. Much like Arkansas, we were saying, they don't have a lot of chemistry because they just pretty much came together after John Calipari left last year. So I'm going to switch it. I'm going Troy.
All right.
Let's have some fun.
Woohoo!
Number 7 seeded UCLA takes on number 10 seed Utah State. I think Utah State always makes the tournament and then just never does anything beyond the first round. So I'm going to go UCLA.
Yeah, I was going to go UCLA also.
I also was going to go UCLA.
There we go. And then last game of the first round, Tennessee and Wofford. I really don't have much else to say about this one. Tennessee.
Yeah, it was Tennessee.
All right.
The name sounds like Whopper, though, so that's fun.
If we were doing a funny names bracket, they would definitely make a run.
Pick.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the first round. Moving on to the round of 32, we'll definitely probably pick up the pace a little bit here, and since we gave you our pretty much very, very fun and brief analysis in the first round for most of these teams. But 1 seeded Auburn, 9 seeded Creighton. What do we think?
Auburn.
I think Auburn as well. Creighton's a good team, but I mean,
Not
Auburn
good
was
enough.
dominant. Yeah. Okay, fun here. UC San Diego and 4 seeded Texas A&M. What do we think?
I don't know. I mean, we picked them to upset Michigan. Why not upset Texas A&M?
Okay.
Why not have a 16th seed win the whole thing?
Why not? Hey, they're a 12 seed. It's fine.
So there's always this higher seed that makes a run. So are you saying that UC San Diego is going to beat them? PJ.
Let's do it. Sure. Let's do it. Why not?
Ooh, vibes.
Good thing to tell you, I was also going to do the same because like I said, I didn't have Texas A&M going out of the first round anyway.
Yes.
So hammer it home. UC San Diego to the Sweet 16.
All right.
North Carolina, 11 seed, and Iowa State, 3 seed. What do we think?
Yeah, I think Iowa State just has a little bit. It's just a little bit better than UNC, so I'm going to pick Iowa State.
I'm going to go next to put the pressure on Maddie. I am going North Carolina.
Uh-oh.
I don't think you expect that pressure on this one either.
No, I wasn't. I was thinking Iowa State simply because we have UC San Diego going to the Sweet 16, and I don't want to get too frisky here and pick another low-seeded team. I was going to go Iowa State.
Okay. Iowa State's going to move on.
Sorry, Jacob.
All good. I was just picking what the heart was telling me. It was speaking to me. Seventh seeded Marquette versus number 2 seeded Michigan State.
I'm picking what my heart is telling me. I'm going the Spartans.
Yeah, I was gonna pick MSU also.
I'm just kidding. I'm going Michigan State. I'm not doing it this early, guys. We'll see what happens. I think you guys are gonna probably take Michigan State to go all the way. That's my prediction.
No.
Okay. All right, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. West region, Florida versus UConn.
Yeah, I'm going Florida. They're so dominant in like every category. So
Okay, I'm going next to put pressure on Madi again. I'm going UConn.
I was going to go Florida.
Okay.
Sorry, pal.
My strategy is just not working, so I'm probably going to not resort to that anymore.
Yeah, stop pressuring everybody when I already have an answer in my head.
There you go. Okay.
Gosh.
There you go. Let's get hostile on that.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding. I like the energy. It's good. It's good stuff. It's March, guys. We got to get competitive. 5-seeded Memphis and 4-seeded Maryland. 2 teams Michigan State's played. What do you think?
yeah, I
What's the heart saying, PJ?
Maryland.
Okay.
Because just their starting lineup. But like, here's the thing. Their starting lineup is their whole team.
They don't have depth.
They don't have depth.
Yeah.
But it's won them so many games, which is why it's not that I'm confused, but it's just like, wow, like they're just able to win so many games with pretty much just their starting lineup. Derek Queen, he's just amazing. It's just an incredible team.
I was going to go Maryland, too.
Okay.
I like seeing Big Ten teams go a little bit further.
Yeah, and they always do pretty good for how many of them make them. I think this round is just me disagreeing with you guys. I was going to go Memphis.
Wow.
But it's just because I'm just going with, just like we said, this whole episode, the heart's telling me that. But we'll go Maryland for there to move on. 11-seeded Drake, 3-seeded Texas Tech.
What do you think?
Drake.
Ooh.
I'm going upset.
What do you think?
I was going to say Texas Tech because I think they're very dangerous.
I was going to say Texas Tech.
Aw.
Oh.
Darn.
I'm saying all, even though I picked against Drake in the first place. But Texas Tech is going to move on there. 10-seeded Arkansas versus number 2-seeded St. John's.
Yeah, I think St. John's they're just a little bit of a better team than Arkansas, so I'm going to pick St. John's.
I was going to do the same.
I am also going to do the same. I don't think Arkansas is really put together well at all to get past the first round, if that. I will say in my personal bracket, I have St. John's losing in this round to Kansas.
Wow.
But just because they're not here, I'm going to pick St. John's with you guys. So,
Okay.
moving back up to the East, Duke and Mississippi State.
We beat Mississippi State in the first round last year, correct?
Yes. First game of the tournament, too.
Yeah. I don't know. You go first, PJ. I'm trying to think of the vibes here.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Duke. They're one of the best teams, and when Cooper Flag is back, he'll be able to dominate. So I'm gonna say Duke.
Is he supposed to be back for the tournament?
Yeah.
He will be back for the tournament.
Is he?
Yeah, it was announced.
I think I'm gonna go Duke too then.
Yeah, Duke is like one of the overwhelming favorites to win this whole thing. Duke is definitely gonna be my pick here. I see them going pretty far. Just not like Mississippi State. I'm sorry. I don't think there's a chance. 5-seeded Oregon, 4-seeded Arizona. This game's fun.
This is fun.
I'm gonna go Oregon because I think Arizona they've had a disappointing season for a reason. They win some games, lose some games. They got hot and then they got cold. I think Oregon's just a little bit better. Their big presence is better than Arizona's. Give me Oregon in this one.
I was gonna go Oregon as well.
Yes. I was also gonna go Oregon.
Clean sweep on Oregon. I like that a lot. 11-seeded VCU versus 3-seeded Wisconsin. You want me? I'll start it off.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go Wisconsin. I like VCU a lot. I just think this is like the worst possible second round matchup for them because I think they really have the chance to be one of the Cinderella teams this year. But I think Wisconsin is just really good.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was gonna say Wisconsin too. I think that what they've done this past season has just been great. So I picked them.
Wisconsin moves on. Last one of this region, 10-seed Vanderbilt, 2-seed Alabama.
I mean, Alabama has proven itself to be a very good team this season, so I'm going to pick Alabama.
I was gonna go. I think I want to go Bama.
I'm going to roll with the Tide as well. They just play at such a fast pace. I like that joke there.
That was really good. That was really clever.
That was good.
That was really good.
Keep them tucked in my bag, deep in my bag. But Alabama plays very fast. I got them for days, don't worry. Alabama plays very fast. They're one of the fastest playing teams in the country. I think they just wiped the floor of Vanderbilt. They're not going to get them back in transition. Last region in the second round, Houston and Gonzaga. This is a very popular upset pick for Gonzaga, according to America. But what do we think?
I think it's going to be Houston. Yeah, like I didn't realize that was going to be an upset.
Yeah, I mean, Gonzaga's notorious for playing well in a tournament.
Yeah.
Houston's notorious for being a top seed and not going as far as they should, but you're going to go.
I'm going to go Houston. At least one more round, yeah.
I think I'm gonna go Houston too.
I was also going on Houston. I think they're just too good this year. Like, their team's different than past Houston teams.
Yeah.
Clemson in one of our fun upsets, High Point. Do we see them going any more for Cinderella or no?
I think that this is where their journey comes to an end.
Yeah.
I agree.
so.
I'm also going to agree with that. Clemson will move on. Illinois and Troy. I forgot we even had Troy moving on. They were sneaking down there. Are they going to do it or no?
I think Illinois got a little bit of an edge.
Yeah, I think so too.
Illinois, I believe, as well. And then last game of the second round, UCLA and Tennessee.
That's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. I think Tennessee is going to lose this one, in my personal opinion.
I
Tennessee,
was thinking the same
they
thing.
typically underperform in March Madness, especially as a top seed. No Dalton Connect for them this year. I know they went far last year, but I don't think they're as good. When they were the number one team in the country this year for that stretch mid-season, they just didn't really play like it, live up to it. I'm taking UCLA.
Wow, all right. UCLA it is.
Maddie's going to agree with me, too. There we go, UCLA. All right, Sweet 16. Moving back up, Auburn and UC San Diego. Does the dream continue?
I fear this is where UC San Diego goes bye-bye.
Yes, I
Good
agree.
for you.
Yeah.
I think they would get whooped by Auburn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Auburn's way too big for them. Auburn's entire starting lineup is probably bigger than their entire team, so Auburn. Iowa State and Michigan State. Fun one here. I'm going to take Michigan State. I don't think Iowa State, like I said before, I think they're vulnerable.
I'm going to go Michigan State, too.
Michigan State, I think this is just easy. The matchup's great, and I think PJ would definitely agree as the beat reporter.
You better agree.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know what I was really hitting out. Florida and Maryland, number 1 versus number 4.
This could be a really interesting game.
Yeah, I think it would be a really good game. I am going to pick Florida, though. I just think they're just so dominant. Yeah.
Maddie's smiling at me. I'm going to put pressure on. I'm saying Maryland.
I was also going to say Maryland.
Boom!
Wow.
There we go. I'm telling you, I think Florida's going to lose it early because they're coming in as a big favorite as well. But they haven't been a 1 seed in I don't know how long. So
sending the Big Ten through.
Let's do it. Maryland moves on to I think that is the Elite 8. There it is.
Yes, it is.
Texas Tech and St. John's. I'm going to go Tech.
I am too.
Yeah.
I think this is where St. John's comes to an end.
Yeah, I think they're good, but the inexperience, I think, is just going to hurt them. Texas Tech is just a little bit better on paper. Duke and Oregon. Now, before you run away and pick Duke, I think this game has the potential to be close. I don't think Oregon's going to do it, but I've actually flip-flopped this one a few times in my bracket. I think Oregon's good enough to beat Duke because most of the time when there's a team that's compiled of so much talent, like Duke is with Cooper Flagg and that number 1 pick, guaranteed going to the NBA, they tend to underperform a little bit. But I'm going to take Duke. I think they last another round.
Yeah, I think Duke is going to win. I'm sorry to all my Oregon friends. I have a lot of hometown friends that go there. I think you end here. So sorry, Oregon.
I'm going to go Duke as well.
Duke moves on. Wisconsin and Alabama. Wow. I mean, these play styles are very similar.
Go ahead.
These play styles are really similar. We know that Alabama likes to play extremely fast. Wisconsin likes to play really fast. Wisconsin pretty much lives or die on the 3. Alabama does that a little bit, but they have a little bit of a more interior presence. As Wisconsin bigs like to stretch the 3, shoot that as well. I am going to take Wisconsin here because I think Wisconsin is going to have a little bit of luck because they play so much by the 3. I'm going to take Wisconsin. I'm not just doing it because they're Big Ten.
I'm going to... You know what? I'm gonna pick Alabama, but I do agree with your points. But yeah, I'm gonna say Alabama.
I was also going to go the Crimson Tide.
Roll Tide.
Wow.
I like that though. That's a good pick. It could go either way. Houston and Clemson, number 1 seed versus number 5. I think Houston's got this one. Although Clemson, I could see Clemson winning this game with ease as well. But I'm going to go Houston.
Houston, yeah.
I would go Houston as well.
Never doubt the 1 seeds. Illinois and UCLA, a Big Ten matchup here that we don't really get all the time. Illinois, as good as they've been recently, I think they're a very vulnerable squad. I was going to plan on taking UCLA here UCLA was they were a quiet 4 seed in the Big Ten tournament. I think they've been good this entire season. Better than their 7 seed rank says. I'm gonna go UCLA.
You know what? I'll go UCLA also.
There we go.
We're going with it.
Clean sweep on UCLA to switch it up. We're in the Elite 8, getting down to it.
Oh boy.
This is where it gets a little bit interesting for our Spartans. Auburn versus Michigan State. I'm gonna let you guys go first because I still don't know what I'm doing for this one.
Yeah, so I've been seeing a lot of people's predictions, like professional reporters and non-professional reporters, and literally it's like an even split between who picks Auburn and who picks MSU. You know what?
Do it.
I'm gonna pick MSU.
I think that they're going to match up very well to each other, but I think that the depth of Michigan State's lineup is just going to carry us through as far as it possibly can. So I'm also going to go Michigan State.
Wow.
I feel like yes, I'm being biased because it's Michigan State, but on this one, I feel like I'm not. Like, I don't feel biased to Michigan State in this situation. I feel like they are fit to make a run, and I think that's an upset.
I like that. I was going to go Auburn, but I do really like this pick. Auburn has shown their weaknesses a little bit, especially recently, to close out their season. But we are going to take Michigan State to move on to the Final Four.
All right.
I like it, though. If there's any year to do it, I feel like it's this year.
Totally.
Maryland to Texas Tech. This game could be fun as well.
This is going to be a fun one, for sure.
Yeah. I see Texas Tech edging out Maryland.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
I also am going to go with Texas Tech. Maryland, I feel like, would be lucky to get to this point.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Texas Tech. Texas Tech is deep. We got Duke and Alabama. Really, really good game as well. I'm going to go Duke just because I didn't expect Alabama to be here. I know they're a 2 seed, but I think Duke just overmatches them. Alabama plays fast. That's about it. So I'm going to Duke.
Yeah, I think Duke is, yeah.
I'm going to go Duke too.
And then last game, Elite 8, Houston and UCLA. I will just say, before you guys pick, I don't know. I forget how many years it is exactly, but the past however many years, there's been a 5 seed or higher getting to the Final Four. And I think it's been for about 2 decades or like a decade or whatever. So we don't have any in our Final Four for this matchup. So just to put a little thought into you guys' minds. But I'm not going to go first and put that on you guys just after I said that too. So go
You
ahead.
can go first.
Ooh.
I just put fear in Maddie's eyes.
Yeah, you did.
Pure fear.
I don't know, because now you say that. I don't know. I think I want to go Houston. I think I'm going to go Houston. I think that UCLA has a good squad, but I think that Houston just outweighs what they have. So